Be ready for a hot day today.
Mm-hmm.
It's already in summer.
Okay, let's call the meeting to order, Tuesday, September 10th, 2013, at 10 o'clock.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Wagner,
I'm here.
Commissioner Stacy,
Here.
Commissioner Zoller.
I'm here.
Okay, and we'll sign the journal. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Make a motion to approve minutes as outlined.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passed 1-0. All right. That was unanimous. I assume we all said.
Yeah.
All right, old business, Mrs. Wilson.
Old business, Earl was in on Friday to look at the roof and the wall. He was gonna try to be here today, but he ended up having a doctor's appointment, so he's scheduled to come in Monday because we switched our schedule next week, so he'll be in Monday at 10:30 to explain. He did make a comment about having somebody come in and do core samples of the side of that building and giving us a full evaluation on the side of that building. And they wanted, like, it was gonna be in between $1,000 and $1,500 to basically do a full analysis on the side of that, to see what's wrong with the wall, but I'll let him explain it Monday. I just wanted to give you,
Okay.
because I really wanted him to come in today, but he had a doctor's appointment, couldn't make it.
Yeah, to make that note, I was gonna announce that too. Next week, don't show up on Tuesday, we're meeting on Monday. Both Holly and I have a Ohio State Extension event that we're planning on attending next Tuesday, so we had switched it to Monday at 10 rather than Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else for old business?
Nope, I don't think so.
Okay, Holly?
Just update on the Board of Elections space questions they had for us. I'm waiting to hear back from them as where it's at. I did a walkthrough a week ago with maintenance guy Dean, and just, having him point things out to me that maybe I wouldn't notice or to ask questions.
Mhm.
And I've got a comparison, and I shared that with the chairman, and he and Time, I guess he included it at their meeting. They discussed it because it showed up in the article in the paper. So I'm just waiting to hear back from them when it's available, when they've got time to
Take a look at it.
take a look at it, or
Okay.
go over at least the floor plans, look at the two, compare them. There's one way you do it. It's a little less square footage, but I think it's more user-friendly, I guess, and
Mhm.
all the space. And the other way, with additional, some offices, it puts them a little bit over. So, again, I think they're gonna have to see it to
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
come to any conclusion, and, so I'll report more as I know more.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Mr. Zoller?
I was up talking about the CSB building and repairing the wall and so forth. I went up with maintenance last week, up on the roof, and I was really more concerned with the cap and to see if I could see any cracks by the wall where the wall and the roof meet, and I couldn't see anything. Kind of a difficult situation here. I mean, I hate have to go ahead and spend money to go ahead and fix the wall if in fact it's the roof that is letting water infiltrate it, and we all know that leaks in a roof, even though along the wall looks good, it could be 50 feet in another direction that there's a leak that's siphoning down through there. So, I don't know, I'm kind of indifferent. I'd like to have some other opinions, and maybe Earl would be a better opinion for me to go ahead and agree to, let's go ahead and start fixing the wall, even though I don't think the water's coming from the roof. I don't know, and I don't like to spend money when I don't really know what's going on there. So the roof appeared to be in respectable shape. I know that Earl's assessment was that they made some minor repairs, I guess, a year ago, and he thought maybe it would last another 5 years. They had, the maintenance department was telling us there was a leak in one of the offices in this CSB building, and when those minor repairs they did last week, or last year, tend to resolve that, so they don't have a leak there anymore, so, I mean, what do we do? I'm kind of at a standstill, but, you know, it's not bad that it's gonna fall down and hurt anybody, but yet, I would like to see new updated pictures put up there that the Chamber of Commerce is allowed to put up there. I guess I'm just thinking out loud right now. I guess my thought would be just let it go, and if the chamber wants to put new photographs up there on the existing structure, we don't have to tear it down or take the framework down. That way we can update those murals that they have painted there and kind of leave it alone, the wall, until we get a better opinion as to what's causing the problem.
I guess I'd like to hear what the guy says Monday, and then I think we need to make some sort of decision Monday as far as go this way or go this way.
Yeah, I've just wrestled with myself to go ahead and fix the wall if in fact it's the roof that's creating a problem, and
I think it'll be clearer once he.
yeah, someone certainly,
I didn't understand his phone message, that's for sure, but that was a convoluted phone message, but.
Yeah,
I think
listen,
in
that one a
person-
couple times went.
It talks to Zerk.
But I think when he's here in person, we can ask him questions. I think we'll have a clearer picture of whether we should have Larry go ahead and do that repair.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see the new murals put up. I think
Yeah,
it's
looks
fresh, it looks good. The Chamber of Commerce wants to do it. I think it's a nice, fresh look for the community, but
Do they have them ready to go out? Or they have them?
no, they have to order them. Yeah, they haven't ordered them, but John Detweiler's didn't feel it was going to, it certainly won't be done by Heritage Festival, but it's not a, 6-month project. They
Right.
could pretty well order them and,
Once again.
within a month or so, I think they could get them up, so. And again, the bottom line here is I don't think we're creating a hazard for anybody. I don't think we're gonna worry about the wall letting loose and hurting people or property, so. Do I wanna fix it? Absolutely, but when's the best time to do it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything else? No? Nicole, did you have anything? All right, let's jump into new business then.
New business, I have bill voucher number 107. I have a supplement to the permit appropriation for the Housing Revolving Loan Fund, 194, putting $21,243 into contract services. I have a supplement to the permit appropriations for the Ambulance Service Fund, 064, putting $5,000 into salaries, $8,000 into supplies, $60 into Medicare, $35 into flex spending, $225 into hospitalization, for a total of $15,320. This will finish out the year. He had to make some adjustments due to the buyout of when Don left. So
Okay.
he's just adjusting the salary line to make sure he's good for the rest of the year. I have a resolution authorizing an appropriation adjustment within the FY13 Community Corrections Fund 208, moving $50.42 from flex spending to PERS. I have a supplement to the permit appropriations for the general fund for 2013, putting $40,000 into admin fees. This is a good and a bad thing. It's a good thing because it's showing that the sales tax is up, and we didn't have enough to appropriate for the fees last year. I think we had to do the same thing. We were estimating about $100,000, and Mary Jane has requested an additional $40,000. Basically, we pay them to pay us the sales tax.
Don't we
Great
love the
system.
county?
State does that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
They collect it, process it, give us our share, and
Then we have
we
to
pay
give
them a
them.
fee to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I have an appropriation adjustment for the County Capital Projects Fund 215, moving $4,960 from contingency to the jail boiler repair project. This is for the fixing of all those pipes. There was one section in that sheriff and basically, they thought it was gonna be covered under our programming, that Earl's doing, so the company didn't include that into their estimate. When he got out there, he's actually out there working now, realized there was a big section that the company Warner wasn't supposed to cover, so that was what the addition was for. Have a resolution authorizing a fund transfer to be made to the sewer construction fund 224, moving $16,452.86 from the county sewer district fund to the 224 sewer construction fund. Have a resolution authorizing an amendment for the 4D service contract between the Seneca County Common Pleas Court and the Clerk of Courts on behalf of the Seneca County Department of Job and Family Services. I have a resolution setting time, date, and place to receive sealed bids for the CSB parking lot asphalt project located at 51 South Washington Street, Tiffin, Ohio. It will be, date opening will be Tuesday, October 8th, 2013 at 10:30 a.m. here at the Commissioner's office.
I think they can still get it done?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Then I have a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission, authorize the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. This is routine that she's required to do by law, we're required to do by law to certify that the levies that are in place, is we actually need those in place.
No increase, Brittany.
Correct.
So,
And that's all I have.
okay, is there a motion to approve the resolutions?
So moved.
Seconded.
Any discussion on any of the above? I never quite understood how that last one worked, but we have to certify, I guess, in all these collections of revenue that they're actually needed.
Yep.
That's not just general fund, that would be
All.
everything.
Yep.
So they couldn't collect the taxes that are already being collected if this was not done.
Mhm.
Other discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to talk a little bit about, we had our coalition meeting as.
We're still on this
Oh, okay,
motion
okay,
here.
okay.
yet.
No.
Discussion on this motion. Okay, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Zoller?
Yes.
Commissioner Stacy?
Yes.
Commissioner Whitman?
Yes. Okay, now go ahead with your discussion.
Okay, last week, we had our coalition meeting out to the COG and was attended by my fellow commissioners and so forth. And it was brought up, the possibility of a TID, it's a Transportation Improvement District, that we can apply for that. We're getting an opinion from Jeff Lurkey, what is he, from the ODOT,
ODOT.
something to do with ODOT and so forth. And one of the opinions, what needs to be decided is, do we want to go separately, each one of the counties to go and apply for a TID, or do we want to do it collectively? The issue at hand is there's some uncertainties, and that's what we're trying to get clarification, is if we go at it collectively and it is deemed that there is a levy that needs to be levied on it, we certainly can't allow somebody from Ottawa County to put a levy on somebody in Seneca County, or us to put one on them, or Sandusky. I mean, so that to me is a deal breaker. But I guess the decision needs to be sought from this council here, is do we want to investigate a TID? Now, if understanding if that's part of the criteria to do a collective TID, then it's absolutely, there's no way that I could ever vote for it. I'm sure my fellow commissioners would never approve this Transportation Improvement District, which is a way to get funds from the state, additional funds from the state. But assuming that is the case, that we have to go at it singly, is it something that this commission would like to investigate to make application for this TID?
Yeah, I think we'd want to investigate what it takes to form one. They highlighted it at that meeting, And there's a lot of parameters and people you gotta have on it and that kind of thing, but I don't think it's, you know, rocket science. I mean, I think we could do that, and I think it would kind of be a necessary thing. What I wondered is after they talked about the joint, like you said, you wouldn't want, if we're joint with Sandusky counties, them to, and, you know, the different things that TIDs are allowed to do, you wouldn't want them to do that to us, but I think she did say, Kay mentioned that if that was possible to do a joint, it would require them doing a, I don't know if they said a supplemental or some kind of a change, so that it would put some more representatives on their group from the areas it's gonna be over, so, but again, I don't know how the vote would be, you know, who would do
Yeah,
what, but I
well-
don't think it would be just their existing group, and all of a sudden they're responsible for us if we joined them. I think there would be some changes to the makeup of that group.
Oh,
but-
absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
so I don't know if that
Yeah.
would prevent somebody from putting anything on another person or however, but yeah,
Yeah.
either way, I think.
If there's
it's a good
any way
alternative.
that another county could put any levies on our county, I'm
Yeah.
sure that it would be unanimous that nobody would approve it.
Right, right.
That would be a no, that's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
But the thought process needs to be from this commission, do we wanna investigate a TID? You know, once this decision is made, either if we go singly or jointly, you know, that decision's gotta be made first, but then, once that's made, do we wanna investigate it? And then, two, how do we start it? Who do we put in charge of it? What do we need to do? Blah, 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 all of that. So those are decisions that have to be made after we get the opinion. And again, if the opinion comes down that a joint TID means that they could fine levies, no, that's a deal breaker. Then we would do it individually then. And I'm sure all the other three counties would agree with that process. But do we want to, fast forward in here, do we
Yeah.
want to even look at that? And then if we do, then we need to put someone in charge to put it together.
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings. I read the Ohio Revised Code on TIDs just this morning. Somebody sent that to us. I don't know who sent that in. Did you do that?
Somebody, the gal from DLZ
Mhm.
had
Oh,
copies of that
Kathy.
after the meeting, and so
Okay.
I grabbed an extra
Okay,
set.
well,
so,
thank you for
yeah.
doing that. I think it's, on the plus side, I think it could allow us to attach some more funds from various places, access to more funds from various places, is a better word. I think it's a good tool. It makes me nervous because the TID then would have bonding authority, and they don't have direct taxing authority, but they could do tolls, and they could do special assessments, which is basically a one-time property tax, up to 10% of the value of the property. So, and that's very specific in there, that would not need approval from Tiffin City Council, Board of Commissioners, or whatever. This new authority could do that. So it just makes me nervous. I think there's some positives to it, there's some
Yeah.
potential downfalls to it. I think investigation never hurts.
This is-
If we had somebody that could really know the subject come and talk to us, I think that would be.
Right. That's why I think the
Be good.
investigation, I think we definitely investigate it. But is that what ODOT's gonna do now, Jeff, or somebody, they're gonna get back to us about the joint or not joint?
Yes,
And then I
yes.
think they might be the
Mhm.
source, and if
That'd be
not,
good.
I
That'd
don't
be
know,
good.
if, you know, if Kathy can,
And the
go over it,
assessments,
or-
oh, excuse me,
go ahead.
the assessments come from anybody in the district, so I assume if it's a four-county district and it affects this section of road, they could assess the people in that section, or maybe it'd be all the benefit, I'm not sure.
I would suggest, after we get the opinion from ODOT, that we put regional planning in charge of this to do the investigation and report back to the commission as to, you know, the ins and outs of a TID.
Well,
That would be the point person I would suggest.
I'm guessing with that, it would fall under the Transportation Committee, and since you chair that, you know, if Jill has concerns, she can blame you.
Well, we're gonna have to make the decision whether we
But-
create one.
Yeah.
This
Absolutely.
board
But
will
if we
actually
want them to
create it
help
or
the
not
research.
create it. They can research, but.
Yeah,
Just having a person here that we could ask all our questions to, I think would be all the research I would need.
yeah.
If we had Joe Expert come in and give a little talk and then we ask questions, I think I would know which way
Okay.
I wanted to go.
Yeah.
So after ODOT gives their opinion on this joint TID or separately, once we know that, and then at that point, the next step would be to ask someone who is the Joe expert, or Jane expert, shall we say, to be politically correct, have them come down and give us an overview of it, so we can make a decision that, hey, yes, we want to proceed with whatever it needs to be done. Not to say that we've given final approval yet,
Right,
but at
right.
least start the process. You know,
Yeah.
it's, sometime you gotta start a process, and
Uh-huh.
that's really what I'm talking about, is starting the process, not a decision at this point by any means.
Sure,
Right.
sure.
But I think it shows some merit, something we need to look at. So if that's, with your approval, we'll go through that. Get an opinion from ODOT, and then we'll call Jane or Joe, expert down here,
Come to
based
a
on that
meeting.
opinion, to give us an overview of it. And then at that point, we would then delegate somebody, my suggestion would be regional planning, to go ahead and fill the paperwork out and all the proper things that need to be done, and then we would have we would have to make a final decision.
Okay, what paperwork would there be to fill out? I think just have.
There's an
somebody-
application, there's an application process for
But we wouldn't.
TID, and then there has to be certain procedures, from what I understand, of governance of that, and
And it does require a resolution of this board to form.
But there would be no paperwork to do until we decide we're gonna do it.
oh, yeah, yeah.
Correct.
That's-
Right.
We'd have to
Only-
determine at
only
what
if
point
we-
is that we pull the trigger.
Uh-huh.
Everything else is just loading the gun.
Right, okay.
We are the ones that would pull the final trigger and say, okay, we want to do it, let's go.
Okay. Okay. I just don't wanna give anybody a lot of work unnecessarily
No.
if we're not gonna do it.
No, I think we're gonna find out before we would.
Yeah, well, a lot of that's
But
gonna
we
be
just give you-
determined by Joe or Jane expert,
Yep, yep.
to come down and give us an overview.
Yep, whenever they can work that in, that's fine.
Okay, well, let's wait to first get our opinion from ODOT.
Okay.
I think that's
Okay.
interesting.
Okay, any more new business?
This is old, and I'm getting very, very frustrated here with New Rig. I'm not getting frustrated with New Riggle. I've had numerous calls into RCAP, where they're supposed to do some reevaluation of non-residential owners, non-residential units in New Riggle, and I keep hearing I'm gonna get a call, but I don't get a call from anybody, and so I'm continuing to badger that. So I mentioned that, Holly, you've got some contacts over to WSOS. that
You said she called you.
Yeah, and they connected me with the person in Columbus, and then the person in Columbus said that there's a new person starting over to Fremont, and he's supposed to call me was the day after Labor Day.
Oh,
I put repeated calls at him, I'm not getting any response to him. I don't have any contacts over at WSOS. There's a new person over there
Okay.
that now handles RCAP.
I will see them tonight at our board meeting.
Okay, and if you could put your foot up their tail and somebody to get with us so that we can, there's no cost to the county, we can do a reassessment of non-residential users over there. I did have conversation with the mayor over there, the last meeting we talked about, we showing some sort of verbal support to Fostoria and the mandates that EPA's put on them, and from what I understand, that they don't want to ruffle the feathers if they don't want to get EPA too riled up. They tried that process and EPA come down with pretty heavy hand, so they feel that they've got it in control as much as they can. And so I'm taking the lead from Fostoria and kind of staying out of that from EPA and so forth there.
Okay.
I don't like it. I think that's the process.
Okay, anything else? New, old, in between? Okay.
I have nothing else.
Mrs. Bills? Nicole? All right. Now, general public, anything you want to bring up today?
One other thing.
Oh, hi.
I'm sorry, I haven't given up yet. I talked with Mark Zimmerman in reference to the cemetery. He really doesn't want to do anything out there. He said the problem is if I start doing something, then they're gonna want me to do other things. It's as far as grading the road, he said what he may be interested in doing is taking a load of stone that he's got from the crushed up courthouse and dumping it in spots, so if we can get the sheriff and maybe some prisoners where they could put the stone in the low spots there, that would be about as much as Mark would be willing to do. I'll need to contact the sheriff to see if he can provide the labor and where they can, again, if they just dump small little loads of stone in kind of the low spot areas. One other thing is I've been contacting Clinton Township. There's a pile of brush that someone brought to our attention. Was it you, Tom? There's somebody out behind the barn out there.
Oh, yeah.
And it just keeps to be growing and growing and growing, and what I understand is that in the past, I talked with Clinton Township, and they said, well, in the past, the county engineer would burn that once a year. After talking with Mark, he said that the sheriff complained about it and actually turned him in for burning it, so he doesn't want to touch it anymore. So we got kind of a he said, she said scenario, so it's an eyesore, we need to get it burnt, because if not, it's gonna keep growing. How do we get rid of it?
Dean had talked to Mark, and Mark had agreed to split the brush pile so we could burn it separately. Our maintenance does do that. The only thing that sheriff requests is just, hey, let us know when, and try to just watch the wind. They were burning it whenever they wanted, and if the wind was blowing in, it would suck it into their ventilation system, and it would cause problems in the building. So sheriff doesn't have any problem with burning.
This was the
just-
previous sheriff, by the way, that
Okay.
complained, not
Yeah.
not the current
And he
sheriff.
said, that's fine, just make it manageable piles, and just call dispatch whenever we're gonna do it to let them know when we started it, and then let dispatch know when we're done, so that way, if they get calls, dispatch knows, nope, the county's taking care of it. So,
I think it's something in the fall here we need to
yep,
address in some way. If not, if Mark can't do it, I'm sure that Clinton Township, the fire department will do as a controlled burn and whatever they do for training and so forth. And if not, if you don't take care of it, it's just gonna get larger and larger every year and be a monster
no,
out
we're
there.
gonna we'll take care of it.
When
Mark
I-
said he would split the pile for us,
When I burn brush piles, I burn them when there's snow on the ground.
yeah.
Then they don't
That
get
makes
away from
sense.
you.
Yeah,
But,
that makes sense.
I burn several every year. I'm not burning that one. That's too
I'm
bad.
not touching, not with the barn closer, I'm not touching that one.
I did go look at the lane, and that sounds okay with me, if put a little stone here and there. It didn't, no offense, Tom, it didn't look that bad. I mean, it was not in that bad a shape. We're down to just 4 maintenance folks, and we're kind of keeping them pretty busy, especially with the lawn mowing season. I hate to pull them off to work on a lane that just goes to a cemetery that's really not that bad. But if Mark can dump stone, we get some prisoners to scatter it around, I think that would be fine. They hadn't poured any cement as of last Tuesday.
Yeah, no, I was surprised when I was out there. What's going on there? They're building, are they gonna get all the forms built so
Probably
they
back to
pour
school.
concrete once?
We poured Saturday.
He's back in school.
Oh,
right?
Saturday, okay,
Oh,
good,
yeah.
good.
I
I
need to
imagine
go
you
out
wanna
there.
make it worth your while, you don't wanna bring a yard of concrete back there, you wanna
We
bring.
poured 11 yards
11
Saturday.
yards,
We
okay.
poured 11 yards Saturday, and they had a lot of problems.
Oh.
Some of them I daresn't mention because I don't want to.
Yeah.
It wasn't the pumping, it was the truck.
We'll deal with that.
And if we're gonna if you're gonna put some stone in that lane, you might wanna wait till you're done pouring cement.
Absolutely,
Because
yeah.
some cement trucks are gonna
Yeah.
And as far as
back her.
grading, I don't think you should grade it. I think you'd get rid of a lot of good sod. Stones down through that track, the first several hundred feet, that's where the problem is. Because there are some people that go back there, when I was mowing, I see flowers at different grades. And I've seen some mud going back, and I think for those few people, I think it's worth putting a truckload of stone in.
They still looking at the end of October to finish that, or?
We're gonna try to finish it this month, yes.
This month, okay.
I don't
End of September.
know how, but there was a lot of guys out there.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of
Looked like
tired
a-
guys that slept very good Saturday night because of the.
Looked like
issue.
about a third of the stones were,
Well, it was 4
I'd say about
rows,
2/3.
and they got about
See?
almost 3 rows finished.
okay.
it took more concrete than what they anticipated, and there was some issues.
Okay. Well, we appreciate. what
Not
they're doing.
because of them, because they
Right.
worked their butts off.
Right. Well, we appreciate what they're doing.
Yeah, they really do.
Well, again, you know, the hope is that when the whole project's done, we can go out there and have a little ceremony. I'd like to somehow or other come up with, we do some punch and cookies and have a little ceremony and appreciation for what they've done, because they put a lot of time.
You could have the refreshments up at one of the buildings, maybe go back there and
Yeah,
have somebody
yeah,
say a
something.
few words and.
Yeah.
I think that would be great for the people out there, because they're really working hard.
And we certainly need to acknowledge their
Yes.
efforts and their needs, no doubt about it. I'll shut up again.
That's okay. Anything else from the, I guess I did have a question for anybody that knows. There's it says around the town at Heidelberg today from 11 to 1. Anybody know what that's about?
That's various businesses and organizations do displays for the students to see, is that what?
Yes,
I
that's
think
what
we're
it
doing
is.
it.
Tiffin University tomorrow.
Okay, is
Trying
that,
to educate the
You know
students,
anything about it?
organizations or businesses in the community.
okay, so it's more for the students rather than
Yes,
for the general
yeah,
public? Okay,
yes.
all right.
Where'd you see that at?
It's on the Chamber's newsletter, I think.
It was on the Tiffin tomorrow one too, I think.
I thought I put it on the calendar, it must have gotten raised. Said Tiffin and Heidelberg's on there.
Okay. All right, if there's nothing else for the meeting, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we're adjourned at 10:30. Thank you all for coming.
But did you have the name, who they said that was?
No,
Our
I
captain
don't.
from
Holly,
the
I'm
person.
sorry.
That's okay.
He's just been hired, he started the day after Labor Day. And,
He's probably spending 2 weeks in training, that's what Brady did.
no, the guy
They
told
send him to a
me,
lot
real
of
nice,
training.
John Roush
Let's see, I'm
was the
trying
guy,
to
and
think
I'll
of the.
forward to
Was
him.
that the hire or was
Here's
that
what-
just somebody?
No,
Okay,
he was the guy
okay.
from Columbus. Your person at WSOS connected me with this John Roush in Columbus, who's in charge of
Come
recap.
up with it off the top of your head.
RCAP, what do they call it?
That'll work.
RCAP. Okay. So that guy is the one that said, we just hired somebody, he starts, he's got on your list to call you.
Yesterday, by the time I found out, it was.
And
Yeah,
I
too late,
called him
yeah.
repeatedly. As a matter
Okay,
of fact,
yeah, I'll
I
check that out.
re-emailed
Thank you
this
very
John
much.
You're
Roush
welcome.
yesterday,
They're gonna,
and
That's
never
all
got a
the emails.
response back to him.
Okay, I will.
Rick Van Hunt's the grand poobah of WSOS?
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever happened to the other guy? Did he get cleared of all his problems?
Yeah.
He retired.
He retired, he just decided to,
I don't know if
Neil-
there are
Neil
problems or
McKay.
not, but he
Neil
retired.
McKay,
Neil had some issues there at the end.
Yeah, yeah, unfortunately.
I haven't heard or seen
Yeah,
anything
I'm
about
sitting back
that.
there thinking about, you might be right, that might be running the other direction, south of
Their
Shanghai.
signings.
It might be going east.
Now they're gonna yell at me down here.
I get my east and west screwed up there, but
Sorry, yeah, we're fine. That's you on.
yeah, here you got, I'm not a very good drawer here, but here's China,
I was,
over here's Japan,
Yeah.
down here's Hong Kong, here is Shanghai, this is Beijing, and I think this would be southeast.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's Hangzhou or whatever.
I thought, I was thinking the ground went that way from
I do now.
Shanghai. but- Oh, hey, by the way.
I know, right?
You're pretty smart.
No, we're not.
I
You're
gotta-
being
I gotta
much
ask-
Who told you
more
that?
generous.
I gotta ask
told
you
you
guys a
that?
question. Where, in what state is the easternmost settlement of the United States?
Easternmost settlement?
I usually
Key West.
sell faster than my
East.
office
Eastern.
phone, to be honest.
Okay, and does this count territories or just?
No, no, not.
I think it is Key West, isn't it?
No,
That's
that's
southern, that's southern.
Eastern,
To get
easternmost.
at least some
Name?
pictures and
Is
stuff.
this a,
Trick question.
is this a trick question?
No,
Say
that's a
real.
question. It's true. Alaska,
How the hell's that Easter?
the date line goes through there,
Oh,
Some of those islands up there, yeah, yeah, that.
and it's a little berg out there in the sticks.
Okay.
Boy, I've spotted the whole day going county commissioner.
Well, you wanna run.
Yes.
Hey, yeah, I
See,
don't know,
we
Delmer, I don't know
dispelled
if
that
I
rumor.